Hello everyone, this is Corazon from ConFed, and I just decided to make a little quick video this morning about multitasking. Something I see a lot of players at plat and even low diamond level is a lot of times their multitasking is not efficient, and a lot of times it holds them back. A lot of times people will gain leads in games through attacks and then throw them away or lose the value of their lead just because they weren't really macroing behind what they were doing. And you know, this balance between macro and micro is what makes StarCraft important. That's one of the most important things. If you focus too much on macro, you're gonna end up you're gonna have a good base, of course, but you're gonna end up missing something later, like that little extra piece to take you from Diamond 2 to Masters or something like that. If you're too focused on micro, it's gonna be, the ceiling's gonna be a lot lower. In the end, you want to prioritize macro over micro most of the time, but as you get to the higher levels, there are going to be times when you want to micro. So the best way to go about working on this is to work on being able to macro and micro at the same time, but with an emphasis on macro. If you ever have a choice in a game between macroing and microing, always macro. Unless, yeah, basically almost always macro, like at the lower levels. So I'm in a game here with
game resume. Game pause.
Day 9, you are too loud. Sorry guys, Day 9 is too loud for me. Okay.
And we're back.
Okay, thank you, Day 9. Okay, so now we're back to the game, right? And I have a squadron of Phoenix flying over, one control group of stalkers, and another one in my main. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is F2. F2 is a great emergency utilizing army. It should never be utilizing source to bring all your army into one area. It should not be used as a primary hotkey for your units. F2 basically takes away all your ability to multitask and to make multiple control groups. So let's say right now these stalkers are defending here, right? The stalkers are defending here, the Phoenix are going to go harass, and these stalkers are going to go pressure the natural. If I hit F2, let's say I warp in, where I warp in all my stalkers. Come on. Excuse me. Let's say I warp in all my stalkers, and I'm like, okay, I'm using F2 only. Let me use F2. Get everything here. All these units are going away. The stalkers are going away, the Phoenix are coming back to your base, and the stalkers that you had to defend your main are going back here. So let's say you're using F2. It impacts your ability to be in multiple places at once, and this is going to hurt you when you're facing someone who can attack you in multiple places at once. So you make these stalkers here. Okay, I need more drop defense. You use those stalkers. Making the stalkers, making the stalkers, making the stalkers. If they ever decide to make, thank you, Blizzard.
I am here in the shadows.
And then you use F2, like you're going about doing your business. Your army's over here, and you use F2. You're gonna go attack him. And then at 7 minutes now. At 7:30, he drops in the main. You're like, where are my stalkers? That's the biggest reason why you shouldn't use F2. F2 is for emergency situations only. I use F2 sometimes if I have, because the observers will always appear. Observers will always appear in the beginning of your. Where is it? Beginning of the end. Somewhere in the. It's going to appear in your army tab. I would click here and look for the observer just in case I can't find it, because those things are impossible to find. So the way I was able to get myself not to use F2 was using the combo over here, putting it on something that you would never use, like a hotkey that you basically would never use. I had it like Control Shift Alt asterisk or something like that before, but yeah. So basically, what I do for my control groups is one is my main army. Thank you, D9. One is my main army. 2 is a harassing force. Oh, it goes back and forth, but 2 is always either Phoenix or High Templar, just depending on how. Oh God, I have a fight. Oh man, this Terran's intense.
I am the voice of the eclipse. Where do our enemies?
Sorry. So, two will be High Templars or Phoenix. 3 will always be like a tertiary unit. Sometimes Phoenix, sometimes almost all the time Oracle, because Oracle is a great support unit.
Empty. Sacrifice
4 is my
next eye.
4 is my next eye. 6 are my production facilities. 4 also is my forges too. So you 4 tab over, and you can do your forges. God, day 9 needs to be quiet.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh my god.
Time for battle.
Okay, let's pause it.
Gameplay intermission.
So 6 will be my Stargates and my Robos. Just like a Terran's supply, I feel like it's better if you can tab them over. And then 8, my last hotkey, it's number 8. Actually, no, sorry. I have 8, which is tilde, the thing right next to 1. And then I have on 0 is the I can't really show you guys, but my mouse has 2 buttons, and so the back button that my thumb is always resting on is the 0. And that I used to put my mothership core on there, but I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it now. But yeah. But basically, you know, find whatever fits you. Just don't use F2. Find whatever fits your style, whichever hotkeys you want to use. Like in the end, like the best hotkeys are what you're comfortable with and what helps you get the fastest reaction time and how you can play as fast as you can. So basically, another thing is macro, micro. I kind of touched on it before, when to macro, when to micro. Most of the time you want to macro. Let's say you get into a fight.
3, 2, 1, go!
Let's say there's an army down here, you want to engage. So you start engaging. You do your engagement thing. Okay, I'm gonna pick stuff up, blah blah blah. Okay, then back to your here. Macro, get this in there, and then micro again.
I am here in the shadows.
So one more attack.
You must construct additional pylons.
I can't macro because I'm supply blocked, and I'm also floating 6,000 minerals. Okay, so battle ends up right here. Do your first
Game
little...
paused. Think about what you've become.
Exactly. Your first little engagement, first part of the engagement, look at it. Go ahead and do it. Cast your storms. Get your army into position. See if you're going to win. And once that first little initial thing has happened, you need to go back in macro. As Protoss, you have to move your screen back, but as Zerg and Terran, you're in the luxurious position of just having to press stuff. So once that first little part of the battle, once you have all like the big micro things done, your EMPs, your fungal growths, your force fields, your storm, any of that stuff, once you have that done, then immediately go to macro. Then come back in micro until the end of the fight. And if the fight lasts a long time, you want to make sure you keep macroing. If you win here, you win
Game resumed.
You win here, and you continue the fight here. You're chasing his stuff down. Always got to make sure go back and macro. And also, a big part of multitasking is having enough faith to let your units do your thing. So like this whole thing is a really hard concept to explain, but basically I'm gonna send these guys over here and send the stalkers in at the same time to the third. And I'm looking on the minimap. That's also a big thing, but I'm not gonna talk about it too much. I'm looking at the minimap. I see the Phoenix going. I don't see anything attacking them. Still don't see anything attacking them. And then I go home. Okay, I have faith that my Phoenix are gonna get there in a reasonable amount of time. Oh, okay, run away. Stalkers come in. I'll just throw my Phoenix over here in the corner and then go attack again.
Mineral field empty. Gameplay intermission.
So that's basically it for what I kind of want to talk about in this game. The way I learned to really work on at least two different control groups in order to be able to play the game a bit more smoother is I would go Phoenix in every matchup. I went Phoenix versus Protoss, Phoenix versus Terran, Phoenix versus Zerg. This wasn't as feasible in Wings of Liberty, but now in Legacy of the Void, Phoenix are viable in almost every matchup. Maybe a little bit less versus Zerg, but it's still a good choice. You need just work on macroing perfectly while harassing constantly with your Phoenix. Once you it's going to be hard at first, but once you start to get that and understand how to do that, you're going to be able to you're going to be in a good shape. And I've already talked for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and keep it a little bit short at the end. So play with Phoenix. Focus on multitasking, macroing, and harassing at the same time, and having an army, and playing the game and going through. And once you get used to it, it's gonna be tough at first. Once you get to it, you're gonna be in a good shape. There are also like other, there are a couple of micro trainers out there. Dark Lines micro trainer is the one I used a lot. You really have to do some searching yourself if you wanna find a good trainer. But in the end, like, playing matches is gonna be the best experience for you. And, you know, go play on ranked. Go play on ranked. Make 8 Phoenix. Go harass. Work on your macro. And so yeah. So basically, if you guys have any questions, you'll find me in the ConFed Discord as always. I'm happy to help anyone out. I'm Diamond 2 with every race. So if you guys ever need any help, let me know. This has been Corazon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for bearing with me for 11 whole minutes, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.